Hello. Hopefully I just put in some lovely video with some birds and some nice bird sounds, because spring is alive here in Eastern Washington. We are getting, I think our highs are around the 50s, like 50 right now. Everything is melted. There is no snow left anywhere. It's all gone. Highs are getting 50. It's getting sunnier. The birds are out every morning, which is lovely, and I hope I put in that little clip of the bird using the little pond as a bird bath. It was so cute. It was so cute. Later that day I saw there were like 3 birds and they're all doing it together, and it was adorable. Anyway, that was nice. I thought I would just share a little piece of spring and some happy morning bird sounds. Aside from that, t-shirt, awesome friend Kelsey, who lives over in New York. She's from Washington, but they moved to New York. Made me a shirt with my logo on it, just completely off on a whim. Sent me a little gift, and I was like, what is this? And that was very nice. But her and her husband have a woodworking shop on Etsy. I do think it is closed right now because her husband is in the military and he's off doing that stuff. But if you follow the link that I'll put down below to their Etsy shop, I think it's Wood Axe War Shop, or yeah, I think that's right. If it's not, you'll see it down there anyway. But yeah, give them a follow, and then when the shop does reopen, you can get things from them. They've made us cutting boards and like little charcuterie, like little platter boards, and I don't know, they make a lot of crazy, more fun, like custom stuff too. So hit them up. The shirt is great. The logo looks so good. They're just crafty people and I love them. But anyway, we are here today to start some seeds, finally. All of the seeds. I for sure know that I want to start herbs and my flowers, like the nasturtiums, the chamomile, like cilantro. What else did I get for herbs? Did I not get any other herbs? Cilantro. That's the only herb I got. Wow. I guess the flowers count as herbs. Whatever. But yeah, I for sure want to start the nasturtiums, chamomile, cilantro, and probably the carrots, and then the beans, like the snap peas and the strike beans. I need to look up still if I should start the lettuces, cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers. They're probably safe to start all of them, but I just want to make sure that I'm not starting anything too early. I don't think it is. It is supposed to get rainy and a little more snowy just the next week, and then it's gonna be fully off into spring by that point, I believe. Who knows for sure, but that's what I think is gonna happen. But even though it's gonna snow, the highs are still gonna be like 48, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so nothing's gonna stick. The ground isn't gonna like freeze or anything again crazy. But yeah, new shirt, lovely bird song. Is there anything else that's new? My bulbs, if you follow on my Instagram, maybe I'll figure out in editing how to put a picture of my bulbs that are coming up. You'll see them and not see me right now if that is the case. But they're little grape hyacinths. That is like, I love all bulb flowers as a little spring baby. My birthday's in April, I'm a little spring chick, but grape hyacinths I think have to be my favorite bulb flower. I got those from a grocery store last year. They were just in a little decorative pot thing, but I took the bulbs out, saved them in like a brown paper bag. I think it was 2 years ago actually, and then this is the first time I've actually replanted them, and I had no clue if they were gonna actually come up or if they were just gonna like rot in my pot if I overwatered them or if it rained. So I'm really happy to see that they're up. But I think I need to do some quick Googling on the seeds just to see if I should start everything or just start a few things. And then I need to start by making some coffee. So let's do that. I'll do some Googles and I will meet you back here in a second. Bye! Also, while that's going, one new thing I did just remember, I'm just gonna prop you up here. I finally ordered a tripod, so you won't be sitting on weird like my little kitchen counter bar thing, or over on the dining table, you are on a tub of Clorox wipes. And it's supposed to be here tomorrow morning, so should I have waited to film this and done it tomorrow when you have an actual tripod to sit on? Maybe. Who's to say? But you get one more trip on the little Clorox tub. And then you're gonna grow up and have a real tripod, so that's very exciting. I used to have one, like years ago. I think I've moved 2 or 3 times since then. And if you've moved ever, you understand. End of February or like the first day of March, I was very gung-ho to get filming. And then I think we got sick probably on the 3rd or something. It's now the 11th because we healed. And then the weather was bad, and then I had just a bunch of food prep and laundry and family stuff to catch up on due to the illness, like stuff that we got behind on, and by we I mean me. But yeah, so all caught up, finally have time to plant seeds and focus on something outside of just the day-to-day stuff. This has been so chatty to start with. I hope that's not annoying. It might be, but if you're here, you're here. When you're here, you're family.
Anyways, let's go to Olive Garden and get tanked.
But yeah, I'm gonna do a little Googling and drink some coffee and wake up a little. It's kind of gloomy outside today. I don't know, kind of blah, but I wanted to like film and get seeds in some dirt. So if you get it, you get it. I don't know. Maybe the seeds will make me happy. I'll have something to like check on every day, and that'll bring me hope and for spring and summer. If you're into plants at all, you understand. And then this is my humidifier back here, not smoke. I just realized that looked like something was burning alive. But yeah, so let's do some Googling. I'll probably just montage over this with some tunes. And then we will come back with a plan. I'm probably gonna go grab a notebook too, because if I Google when to start every single seed in this pile, I will forget by the time I make it through the pile what I found for each of them. So yeah, enjoy, I guess. Found that I'm good to start everything. I have decided I'm not gonna do the butternut squash this year. That would just be so much better in the ground, or if I had space to do like a storage tub as a container for that, just because it requires so much space. We are going to have a jam-packed little patio as it is, and I think the squash I can definitely wait for. But yeah, so I'm going to chug along now and figure out, because I know there's a few of these plants that their seedlings won't like to be transplanted. It'll kind of stunt them. I know carrots is one of them. I believe cucumbers are the same way, and potentially peppers. But I'm going to look those up and just see if there's, anyone that's a little more finicky and needs to get, like that its seeds need to be sown and it's what its final container is going to be today. Otherwise, for everything else, I'm going to start them in like egg cartons and little stuff like that. But yeah, so back to the montage. yes, everything can stunt when you transplant it. Like, it can get shock. And I know everything can, but I know some stuff's more prone to it. Like carrots, beans and peas, and some herbs like cilantro, just like stuff with tender roots, as I put it. So I'm for sure gonna start those in containers. The thing is, I don't have what the final containers are gonna be for all of these, so I can't really do that. I can't start all of them in their final containers. I also don't have the space for that, to have all of those indoors. I don't have the dirt either, so that's not happening. Let's get started. I need to get dirt and containers and set everything up here, and then I will check back in with you. See you in a minute. Hi. Okay, never mind the charcoal. I have gone and gathered all of the planters, little pots, and by all of, I mean 5 decent sized things, and then I was also reading the back of the seed packets for the peas and pots, or peas and beans, and the lettuces, and I think I'm gonna start some of everything. So I need to get organized. I've got this bin with another pot in it that I'm just gonna mix up all my dirt in, and so that is going to consist of some charcoal, just to help with soil health. I put that in all my terrariums and everything, and I've never had problems with like mold or anything yucky. So I'm gonna use some of that just to be on the safe side. I have these worm castings. You can see it's opened from where I put some on the bulbs that I was just talking about. So I'm gonna mix some of that in. And I know the seedlings don't like need any nutrients just to sprout, but I can't promise myself that I will transplant them to nutrients within a reasonable amount of time. Sorry, this camera is shaking. Again, you'll have a tripod tomorrow. By the next video, you will have a tripod. By the next update on the seedlings, there will be a tripod. So the castings, charcoal, and then we have the actual soil. Yeah, potting mix plus fertilizer. And the fertilizer, again, is just, I think, castings is all it says on here. More worm castings. Because, yeah, I want to try to do all the food organic. I don't buy organic produce because who can afford that? But for what I'm growing, I would love to try to do it organically. And we'll see if pests are a problem. I don't know. We'll roll with the punches as they happen. But I'm going to mix up this dirt, organize my pot situation, get the little like egg cartons and stuff that I have down in this corner, because I've just been like stashing them away, like egg cartons, berry containers, and stuff like that. So montage time once again, so sorry. Okay, so obviously I have everything in here. The worm castings typically come out kind of chunky like this. They break apart really easily. So I'm just gonna kind of break that up, mix this all together. I just eyeball amounts of everything. I have with terrariums. I always do that with my aquarium substrates. Like, I've never really had an issue with it. But yeah, eyeball, mix it all together, get your hands dirty. I'm not a big fan of gardening gloves, unless I'm doing something that involves like thorns. I would rather just be in the dirt. already mixed into it. But that'll be nice because what I have heard on the internet with container gardening is that you don't have all those natural microbes and everything living in the actual ground outside. Like a lot of that isn't living in your pot, obviously, with, it's like a fairly sterile environment until it isn't. But you basically need to refeed your soil every 2 months was what I've seen. So at least I have the worm castings ready to go for when I need to do that. Like I know my bulbs out there, I did them in February, so at the beginning of April, I'll need to put more worm castings on top, and then you basically just water it in is what I've seen other people do. Like there's no need to disturb the soil basically. But I think we are pretty well mixed up here. If I find any other big clumps along the way, obviously I'll just break those up as needed. That's some good looking soil to me. Try not to fling any into my coffee. Okay, but you can see here, just some good looking dirt. I like the charcoal too, because usually I'll blend up. I have 2 of these. I usually, for my terrariums and just like little potted house plants, I had one that was labeled like arid soil and then one that was more like tropical soil and would like retain more moisture, versus the arid one would be more for like my cacti and succulents and stuff like that. But I find the charcoal helps because when I would make a batch of it and not use all of it, and it would just sit in these containers, obviously you don't want it to go moldy. I've never had it go moldy, and I'm gonna go ahead and attribute all of that to the charcoal and just using that from the get-go, because I figured if it keeps terrariums from going moldy, which is literally just a box of decomposing organic debris and water, like if it can keep that from going moldy, it can keep my soil from going moldy while it waits until its next use. But yeah, so that's all done. I'm gonna grab some egg cartons. Ooh, and let me go see, I have these little wooden, they're like spiky on one end, they're flat, they're spiky on one end to like put in the dirt, and then they're just flat just to Sharpie on whatever I'm planting so I can keep track of things, obviously. I should have gotten those while I was grabbing my pots, I didn't. But I will be right back. Yeah. Okay, so they were right on top, which is nice and convenient. I definitely don't have enough for all of the varieties of things that we're starting today, but I have some, and then the rest, I'll probably just get some Scotch tape or packing tape, that's what I have. Not packing tape. I don't know what it's called. You'll see it probably, maybe. But I'll just use that on the containers for whatever I don't have enough of these for. So we'll set those down. Put this off to the side. And get started. Put our dirt right there. In here, I just have my little shovel and some little shears. I really only use these for my houseplants every so often when I want to take cuttings and like root those and everything. We'll get this butternut squash out of the way. She's not happening today. And then, yeah, like I said, back in this corner is where I've been stashing all my food containers. So, I could be really goofy. I probably will, because why not? This is an old peanut butter jar. I might do, what, 3 carrots in here? And just kind of make a little triangle of carrots and see if, I mean, that's a decent length. Maybe they could carrot in there. We'll see what happens. Normally I don't buy the plastic eggs, but I got this one. We needed eggs, but I got the plastic literally just because I think it'll make a nice greenhouse effect for the seedlings, just hold in warmth and stuff really nice. So definitely gonna try that one out. I do have these big ones that I saved, and honestly, these are gonna be moist, and I'm expecting that these would be so big and like center heavy and wet that they would probably break apart, which wouldn't be the end of the world because they're going to be in like a little plastic tub thing I have over there. But I have other of the cardboard cartons that are smaller, like 18 count size, and I just think that they'll work better and they won't fall apart because of their own weight so easily. Maybe, I don't know. This is all trial and error, but I have 3 of these. This one I took the lid off, which honestly makes sense because that would block the light, unlike it will for the plastic one, so I don't need these. But they tear off nice and easy, so that's convenient. There we go. So that's 18 times 4, which sounds like a big enough number to me. Do I know what number it is? No. Are you here for math? No. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm gonna do tomatoes and peppers. Sure, let's do tomatoes and peppers first. Okay. So I definitely want to start tomatoes in here. Do I know why? Maybe I want to start peppers in here, like jalapenos, because it'll be more hot. Sorry, you totally can't even see my face. Your treat. But maybe, I don't know. These other ones that don't have like a plastic lid, I could put just a layer of plastic wrap over the top to get the same kind of greenhouse effect. So I don't think it really matters what I start in which container. I'm gonna do tomatoes in here because why not? And because if I worry about it, I will get analysis paralysis and never start these seeds. So I'm just gonna get a big old scoop. Can I lower you? I don't know. I still want you to like see my face, but I also want you to like see what I'm doing. Does that kind of work? Maybe? Sure. But I'm just gonna get a big hefty scoop. And just kind of dump it. Get a couple in there and then we can spread it out. Trying to keep it from falling into my carpet because that would not be fun to vacuum. Okay. We're just gonna schmooze that around a bit. Get a little bit everywhere. The most graceful method of doing this, I know. That's what I'm known for, clearly. But yeah. If you guys have started your seeds, let me know how that's going. Do you start them indoors? Do you start them outdoors? Do you have a container garden? Or are you in the ground? Yeah. Okay. Just about there. So the only thing, the thing with the plastic is it kind of has the built-in greenhouse cover, which is just going to help hold in moisture and heat, which heat, that's really all the seedlings need to start. And then once they're more than an inch tall, I won't even be able to close this. So it won't really matter anyway. But then what this can't do is decompose, which is good, but bad. Good because it won't start falling apart on me inside, but something that the cardboard ones can do is, as these are saturated, I could literally like tear out a section the way that I just tore this side off, and I can just plunk that in the dirt in the bigger container once they're ready to go outside. That's obviously not something I can do in here, so I'm gonna have to hope that the root systems are enough strong enough to handle me kind of digging in here with a spoon and just scooping them out to transplant them, which is kind of not ideal, but also that's why I'm doing the tomatoes, because they did not pop up anywhere on the tender root list. So I'm hoping they can handle the transplanting the best. But yeah. And so I've got 3 kinds of tomatoes, which is perfect because I have 3 rows of dirt here. We've got the land currant tomato, which is the little one. They're supposed to be like pretty sweet like candy, and it says that they grow really quick and they're great for getting kids into gardening, so I'm hoping that'll be an easy win. The supernova, I do believe, it doesn't say on the package container friendly, but I'm pretty sure online it said it was container friendly, or at least it grows in a bush style rather than big and sprawling. Let's see. It says they handle dry heat really well, which is perfect here in Eastern Washington because it is dry as bone, and the summers get up to like, there's usually a couple week period, end of August, I think, or maybe beginning of August. August is usually like a nightmare here. It's like 110 for weeks at a time. And then we have the Aunt Molly's ground cherry, which apparently is technically a tomato according to the packaging. I've never tried these. I don't know anyone who's tried these, so we're gonna see how they go. But they apparently have kind of like a tomatillo pineapple-y, like a tangy kind of sweet flavor. So I'm excited about that. So I am just going to kind of do this to get all of the seeds that might be up in this crease shaken down so that I don't have any little runners. And then I'll just line them on themselves. I'm gonna go get that tape and a Sharpie because if I stick one of these sticks in here, I won't be able to close the lid, and that'll defeat the whole purpose of using it. So you'll get to see the tape. Okay. This is the kind of tape I mean. I use this to label like, sorry camera, to label like meal prepping stuff. I worked in a kitchen before this, and this was just what we used to label everything, so this is what I use at home. And Sharpies, of course. So I'm going to go supernova, currant, ground cherry. I'm gonna keep them in that order, close this, and I'm gonna do tape on the top on the outside. That way moisture won't be an issue. Just gonna stick that on. Okay. So we're gonna go supernova. Insert a Chapel Rowan clip from Red Wine Supernova. And then in the middle, we're gonna have the Tessa's Land Race. Shout out Tess. Any Tessas in chat, rise up. And then the far end is going to be Molly's ground cherry. Molly, I'm coming for you. Watch out. Molly's ground cherry. And then I'm just going to put their date on here, which is 3/11. So I will know when I started them all. Okay. Let me show you really quick. Alrighty. Yeah, that's what we're working with. Super beautiful. I've got all my seeds laid out here, my tomatoes in their respective orders. yeah, so let's get sewing. Sorry, that was just like, look at my dirty nails. Yeah, let's go. My battery's at half, so at some point you are just gonna die on me, and we will just roll with those punches as they come. Okay. So supernovas, far left. Honestly, 6. I'm just gonna do 1 seed of each variety in each of these cells, because that's gonna give me 6 potential starts. Normally, if I had space, I would do about 3 seeds per cell and then split them up and stuff later. That would be too many seedlings that I would have to discard for my current situation and for how many seedlings I want to discard, which ideally would be none. But if I just do 6 total, even that feels like too many. What if I did 4? If I did 4 of each for the tomatoes, and then that would leave me 6 more cells to use for something else in this same container, like maybe the jalapenos. I'll do that. That sounds better. Okay. Because that's 4 potential seedlings. And that's the thing too, is if any of these don't start this year, like none of the seedlings have a good start, and it's not ideal, I'm pretty okay with that. Like obviously I want them to start and I want this to work, but I'm just moving any big twigs out of the way before I start putting seeds in. There's some twigs in the seed mix. And then we're just gonna drop 1 into each cell. Come back here, little rascal. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, but yeah, if some of these don't start, like I'm not gonna be super upset about it. Obviously I want them to be successful and I would like to be successful, but it would also save me space if not all of them start and get huge. So I have to be okay with that option as well. Because the more space I have out there, the more inclined I will be to garden. Or not garden, doy.
Doy?
Yeah, doy.
The more inclined I will be to get out there and use my grill. Because it won't be such a difficult time getting to it if I have less plants taking up space. Okay. So I'm doing 1 in each of these, and then I'm doing 2 in 1 random cell. Just 4 felt like too little, 6 feels like too much, so I'm doing 5. Don't judge me, I don't know why I do anything I do. We are onto the ground cherry. The supernova definitely had the biggest seeds. I'll show you in a second before I cover everyone up. And then to cover these up, I am literally just gonna kind of smush some dirt around because these seeds are tiny. And I think the rule of thumb is cover it with as much dirt as the width of the seed, and these seeds are, let me show you, like a step away from being microscopic. So supernova, like you can see it right there in the center, that's a seed. These are the landrace. It's that guy there. I don't think that's one. And that little guy right above my fingertip. But yeah, those are tiny. And then the little ground cherry is this bright speck. And those little specks. But yeah, so these are definitely the biggest. Obviously, because it's the biggest tomato. To not overcomplicate things. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. So those went 4 deep, so they come to these little prongy bits. So I'm literally just going to shuffle some dirt around within the cell so we don't hopefully get any crossover. If we do, again, it's not the end of the world. I am not taking any of this very seriously. I'm taking it seriously so that it works, but I'm not I'm not stressing over it. I would love for this to be the one not stressful part of my life. Okay, give everyone a good little mix, a gentle mix. Okay, so then that leaves us with 6 more cells. Basically, tomatoes are everywhere here up, and that leaves us with these 6 cells at the bottom. For, make sure these tomatoes are all sealed, for jalapenos. These seeds are just ones that I saved from a jalapeno that I made some pico de gallo with maybe a month ago. I just dried the seeds on like a baking sheet. I just like set it on my kitchen counter for a few days and then threw it in a bag and dated it. If you've ever cut a jalapeno, you know what their seeds look like. Oh God, don't mix it with my tomatoes. But yeah, so I've got just a little palm of seeds there. I'm gonna do all 6 of these cells as jalapenos. So whatever's in my palm, I'm just gonna put over here. I didn't really count. Okay, those are all in. Those could handle a little more dirt on top than the tomatoes because their seeds are obviously a little bit larger. They're still not big seeds, but I am going to get just a little, like just a smidgen. And then just kind of tap the shovel so a little bit falls off into each cell. Press those down ever so slightly, and then time to label the jalapenos before I forget. I know they're all the same thing, but I'm just gonna mark it across the whole top as to not confuse myself. Sharpie. I'm just gonna go jalapenos. $3.11. I'm gonna give the little arrows pointing this way, just to show that it's everything. I guess I can show you this way, but just to show that it's everything up that end. I did just jostle some dirt, but I don't think it was a lot, so we're fine. Cool. So that is jalapenos and tomatoes done. Gorgeous. I do wish I had more to chat to you about, because the rest of this video is going to be very slow. And it's just going to be a lot of what you just witnessed, and me chatting about what little I know about what I'm doing. But again, if you're here, you're family, so it's fine. That's why we get a coffee when we start a long video. Which they've all been so far. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what people on this space of the internet enjoy. Feel free to tell me. I feel like everyone enjoys short form, like quick, hard and fast content, which is fine. Because I enjoy that too, at times for certain things, but I don't think that's something that I really would enjoy making. Haven't tried it, don't know. And just like how this garden is trial and error, so are my YouTube videos. I taught myself how to edit. Like literally the first video that I edited for this channel is the first time I've ever edited anything that was video format. Like ever. I Googled a bunch of softwares, like free, beginner-friendly type softwares. I found YouTube videos on free beginner-friendly softwares, on where to get my music, on where to get little clips from like movies and shows that I have in my past videos and probably in this video at this point. I've done other stuff like Twitch streaming. So like I would not consider myself tech savvy, but I'm like tech familiar, I guess. But you know, I have 2 different things of bell pepper seeds, both from January allegedly. Jesus, sorry, my camera's flying anytime I move too much. I'm so excited for this tripod. I know I'm just bringing it up for like the 10th time now, but I can't wait. Bell pepper seeds, I have 2 different batches of them. They're both just from, again, a grocery store bell pepper I was cutting up to eat. I'm gonna take some seeds from both, because why not? Just in case one, you know, maybe one of them's a dud or they just have different genetics, so why not? I will do, I'll probably split it up the exact same way. I will do 4 bell pepper cells. I will do 4 strike bean cells. So I'm just getting them in order so I remember what I'm saying. And then 4 the sugar snap pea cells in that order. And then we will have a back 6, which I will do 3 miner's lettuce, and I'll just do 3 cucumber. Because like I was saying, these guys are apparently tender root and won't take nicely to being transplanted. So I will try some of them as a transplant, 3 cells. And this miner's lettuce, which I said in my seed video, is, I've always seen it in foraging videos. I didn't know anyone actually intentionally like grew this to harvest and use. So we'll give that a shot. It's apparently really cold hardy too. By the time any of this goes out there, it should be warmer outside, but still. It's hardy, it grows wild in like cracks and sidewalks, so not worried about it. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna cut it real quick, change the battery, and then I'll meet you right back here. Anyway, like I was saying, we have bell peppers, strike bean, snap pea, cucumber, miner's lettuce. Dirt in here. Even so, these, is that even enough dirt to really stick them in? Does it look kind of silly? Yeah, it sure does. Do I care? A little bit, but not enough to do anything about it. If we're being honest. I'm just gonna put a little extra dirt in the end ones where the sticks are gonna go, so they have a little bit more to stand in. And then I will do the same thing down here where there's gonna be the 3 of each. Okay. Yeah, just so they hopefully don't tip over and fling dirt everywhere, which might still happen, especially with my dog's tail. Okay, so bell peps. Just grab a little pinch from each bag and call that a day. So 5 or so from that bag. I'm recording.
Huh?
I'm recording.
Oh, okay.
What? Did you need to come out here?
What?
Did you need to come out here?
I was gonna eat something.
Oh, you're gonna eat something. Do you want me to turn off the camera? I'm gonna turn you off for a minute. I'm gonna just keep planting this tray, and then we'll get back to it. So, while planting these, I noticed, you can see that little guy moving. He just went under a piece of dirt. Let me find more. Right at the base of the stick there. I don't know what these are. It's that little white speck at the end of my finger. They're these little bugs I just noticed while I was looking at the dirt. They're just crawling around. I don't know if they are bad. Trying to see if there are any to show you anymore. It's really just this guy. There were a bunch more a minute ago, and then I was looking at them. But I think they kind of went into the soil. I don't know if they are like little gnats that are gonna become an annoying problem, or if they're good. You can see them going. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on bug problems now, apparently. That's kind of annoying. But I've got the cucumbers and the miner's lettuce. And then the 4 of the bell peppers, the strike bean, and the snap pea. That's all ready to go and all sticked up. I'm going to just set this right on top of this guy for now. And then next, I'll set all these off to the side. There's the Clorox wipes you guys were sitting on. That's all the ones that are planted. So that leaves us with carrots for the peanut butter jar. Nasturtiums, chamomile, cilantro, basil, and the iceberg lettuce. I think I'm gonna do some basil in this yellow pot because that little sphere coming out of that pot would be adorable. But yeah, so I'll get started on that now. Okay, husband is gone. I have acquired my spray bottle. I'm probably gonna get a different one just because this is like the really fine mist, which is fine. I like it for like spraying my plant leaves and stuff, just like for humidity. I don't think it'll be quite enough to penetrate the soil at all in all of this. So I'll use it today and probably for a couple of days. I'll make sure I'm using enough, obviously, to get to the seeds and everything. The soil does have just like some general moisture content. It's not like bone dry, so that should be fine. Obviously, I didn't fill up any of the brown guys, and this is all the soil that I'm left with. Like, not even a solid layer on the bottom, really. So definitely gonna need more of that going forward, but we got all of our seeds in dirt. There's nothing we wanted to plant that we didn't plant today, or so. It was funny saying plant when it's not a plant yet, really. I'm gonna open these all up. I also didn't make as big of a mess as I thought I would, which is nice. Okay, I was gonna end the video back there, but decided not to. Because I should show you all where they're going and the little setup over by my big window. But these have all been thoroughly misted now and have a little party going on. So over here, that's literally just the mess from this video. I've got my little chia sprouts, which are doing great. You can see where I've cut some out and put them on a sandwich. I realized they are not that yummy, and that's why clover sprouts and alfalfa sprouts and other stuff exist, because they are much yummier. My little carrot tops are having a grand old time. Again, those are just kind of like fun to watch grow. I'm not actually trying to grow them to eat. This is the little tray that I'm going to set everyone up in. So I will bring that over to the table. Make some room really quick. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Let me dry this off. This is, yeah, that mister is not ideal. I'm gonna see if I can throw a different spray bottle on my Amazon order with the tripod that is supposed to be here tomorrow morning, because that is gonna make a mess. And then the piece of furniture that I have all of my plants sitting on and have my grow light over right now, it's kind of like a little family heirloom. It's my late grandmother's smoke chest, and the top's pretty banged up. Like, it was banged up when I got it. Like, it's old. It just is. I'm not trying to keep it pristine, but like, I don't want to add any unnecessary like water damage. Kind of not the vibe. But you can see I've got the grow light set up here still, because it just perfectly slotted in on either side. I have some thyme growing, which is doing super well, just in this window. But this is going to put off a nice amount of heat, and then obviously this window gets a lot of sun. Basically east to west over here, so it mostly gets morning light, just because the sun kind of goes behind those trees, and obviously those are going to be green and happy soon and block out some sunlight, which will be good for heat in the house and keep it from getting too hot. But, you know, that's what the grow light is for. It'll cover up what the sun cannot. Anyway, that's why we were trying to not get the bottom of this wet. So these guys can sit in here. If they get big enough, I can bottom water. Well, this is not ideal. Let me set you down. They're not really fitting how I wanted them to, which is something that I could have totally prevented by simply measuring. like any measuring at all. Well, it's kind of just these two that I need in here. The other ones are all plastic and have like, you know, like this guy has a drip tray. The peanut butter jar is a peanut butter jar. And then this guy is solid plastic on bottom as well. If I thought about this beforehand, I could have cut these up into like a Tetris configuration that would have fit in here. Because now this feels a bit silly. I might cut a little hole right here and slot this down over the rim. Give me 1 second. Just gonna use my kitchen shears. Chew this end up really quick. It's not ideal, that's for sure. But I think it's gonna work, especially just for seeds starting. I think this will do absolutely fine. It's not the cutest with this guy sticking out, but I'm not really gardening because it's cute. Sight all the dirt under my fingernails. But yeah, so I'm gonna throw these over there now. Let me see if I can put you somewhere. Dude, I want this tripod so bad. I feel like this whole video would be leaps and bounds better than the desk. That's a little better. Okay, we'll roll with it. So anyway, these I'm probably gonna get rid of soon. Because like I said, I realized they're not yummy. These guys can go over here. I'll do the tray right in the middle. So here we are. And these do fit under the grow light, which is good. Because I did not test that either. I didn't measure a single thing. Those. Move my thyme up into the windowsill. I think once it warms up a little, I might move that thyme outside too. It's pretty sturdy of a plank. It's a little woody, so it can stand up to some wind and whatnot. Move that over. And then we'll do our plastic guy and our other little pots probably in the windowsill. Which is gonna go right there. Here's this guy. Just right there should do fine. This. I don't know, maybe it's time to do away with these carrots too. They are fun to watch though. Especially if you have kids, I imagine that would be a fun little experiment. Okay. We've got our peanut butter carrot jar. I'm going to move my windowsill cacti over. Sorry, a lot of tiny pots, so it takes a minute. And we can put him right up there. Show you these guys as well. That is a terrarium, and then this is my isopods in this other container. the time. This guy. And that gives us a nice spot for our basil. In our happy little yellow pot. So that should go right there. Okay. That is everybody. Let me go ahead and get this grow light on. Not that it's gonna make much of a difference with the window right here, right now. Obviously at night it's more noticeable, but if anything, it'll just get some heat going. I do think, get under some dirty little guy. I do think these will probably be the first to germinate, the jalapenos and tomatoes, just from the heat that this will hold in when the sun does hit it or with this light being on. And then like I mentioned before, it is gonna be gloomy like this and snowy and rainy the next 5 or so days, like the next week. So I am gonna be running this every day. The grow light, just to put off heat and give light. I know the seeds don't actually need light to germinate initially, but once they do, obviously they'll need something to grow toward, and I want them to have light ready. This will off put some heat. It is a grow light, so it doesn't put off a lot of heat, but enough to where it'll make a difference. Kind of like the light on my aquarium. It's the same kind of deal, where like it's LED, so it doesn't really make a lot, but it makes enough that it warms up the tank. We got our basil, our cacti. I love this little zebra plant down here. Our thyme is doing great. This was just from, I got one of those thyme plants from the grocery store. I've grown it from seed and stuff too, and you know, whatever, but it's doing really good, and I love the purple that it gets like under the leaves. It's so pretty and smells wonderful. The isopods, I don't know if I've shown these on here yet. This is isopods and springtails in here with some kind of a little fern. I don't remember what it's called. They used to love this piece of wood. Now they go to the one that's under it. Oh yeah. I got these from Russ at Aquarimax Pets. I will link him down below as well. You can see they've bred. Oh, move him back over here. But those, oh, there go the babies. Okay, okay. So we will put them back. But they are loving life. They've bred at least once since I've had them. They do really well in kitchen scraps. I've got some cuddle bone in there for calcium. Lots of mosses and bark and, you know, just stuff like that that's fun for them. And then it stays a little bit humid because I've got these air holes partially taped up on the side. And then I never fully close it. I always leave it kind of loose. They don't climb up the sides or get out or anything like that. But yeah, so I've got those guys. My springtails are under here. And then I've got these 2 terrariums, all the cacti, and all of our new additions. If you guys want a video on the terrariums, I guess I can't really make a video on them. I've only got 2. There's nothing that crazy to show. Maybe I could do like terrariums, houseplants, isopods, springtails, kind of all rolled into one. I don't know. Let me know what you think, if anything. Can you see me in my backlit? I'm fine. But yeah, thank you for tagging along. Sorry it was a long, not chatty video. There just wasn't really a lot to talk about. It's putting seeds in dirt. There's only so much to explain when it comes to that. If you have questions, feel free to put them down below and I will do my best to answer. Yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe. Check out the links down below for the lovely people that made this shirt for me, for my Instagram, for Russ at Aquarimax, for the bugs, the good bugs. And yeah, I will check back in with these on Instagram. I will update on the seedlings when they start popping up, so that should be very exciting. And yeah, thanks for tagging along. Happy spring! Bye.